Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over another Neville Goddard lecture. It's titled The Spiritual Cause. It has a wonderful message that I'd like to share with you. So I'll go through the lecture, paraphrase it, and we'll talk about it as we go. Now, he says it's important to understand that all cause is spiritual in nature. Although it may appear that there is a natural cause, it is actually just a product of the fading vegetable memory. I thought that was quite interesting. What does vegetable memory mean? But he says, when we are unable to recall the moment when we first imagined a certain state, it can take form and become visible to the outer eye. But because we don't recognize the connection between our imagination and the physical manifestation, we tend to deny the spiritual cause behind it. Therefore, it is vegetable memory. He quotes William Blake saying, quote, "There is a moment in each day that Satan cannot find, nor can his watch friends find it. But the industrious find this moment, and it multiplies. And when it once is found, it renovates every moment of the day, if rightly placed." Unquote. The word Satan in this context represents doubt. When you desire a specific state, you might be told by your reason or friends that it is difficult or even impossible to obtain. If you start to believe these doubts, you are essentially inviting Satan or doubt, which are disempowering states, into your life. Your two internal forces, God and Satan, are always with you, with one representing faith and the other representing doubt. If you can imagine being the person you want to be, and hold that assumption with unwavering faith, the desired state will come into existence, and you will realize that the moment of assumption was the spiritual cause. To illustrate this concept, Neville uses the example of his friend at the barber shop. He says the owner of the shop always has the first chair, and if it's a slow day, he gets the first customer. If the owner is finished when the second customer comes in, he takes that one as well. If 3 more customers come in, they will be taken by other barbers, with the 4th barber being the last to receive a customer. Neville says one day his friend sat in the 4th barber's chair and began to chat with him. He discovered that the barber was proud of his profession and aspired to become the best barber in town. When the desire was expressed, the friend imagined the barber already being at the top of his profession. Now remember, he's in the 4th chair behind everyone else. And his friend, hearing the desired express, imagined the man had reached the top of his profession. Within a year, that barber had bought the shop and had moved to the 1st chair. That same barber later told his friend of his desire to attend a hairstyling contest in San Francisco. Understanding that no one goes to a contest unless they want to win, the same friend saw a trophy on the shelf near the door and heard the barber say that he had already won it. The 3 of the 4 men in the shop went to the contest and returned with 4 out of the 9 trophies given in the competition. The owner won 1st and 2nd place, with the 2 men who went with him each taking 2nd. The friend of the barber who used his imagination lovingly in helping him take ownership of the shop later said to Neville, "Now I am going to tell you, Neville, before it takes place that he has already won the contest to be held in Southern California. For I have seen his trophy. Then he will go to Miami and win another trophy, which will enable him to enter the international contest in Brussels, of which I have placed him as the winner." Now Neville's friend knew that the barber would win because every natural effect has a spiritual cause. The friend's imaginative act was the cause, and the barber will remember what he did and will be blessed because of it. The same friend shared a recurring dream that he had. He said, "I saw a man who looked like a cartoonist concept of Father Time, wearing a white robe and holding an open-edged book in one hand and a quill in the other. Insisting that I was born on a certain day, he began to write my story. I saw him write for several years until he reached my present age. Then he stopped. He looked up at me, smiled, and said, 'It is all yours now. You are the author. Keep writing.' The friend then realized that he was the author of his own life, and that his life was a work of art. He understood that he was not just an observer, but an active participant in the creation of his own reality. So the takeaway message here is that the spiritual cause of everything is imagination. Imagination is the beginning of all things, and what we imagine is what we become. The process of manifestation begins with a mental image of the desired state, followed by faith in its existence. The more we practice this process, the more we will see the evidence of its power in our lives. The key to unlocking the power of imagination is to eliminate doubt and cultivate faith. When we believe in our reality of imagination, the desired state will inevitably come to existence, just as the barber became the best barber in town and went on to win all those contests and trophies. Remember, as William Blake said, quote, "The moment of assumption was the spiritual cause, and every natural effect has a spiritual cause. So be the author of your own life. Imagine the person you want to be, and keep writing your story with unwavering faith." Now, I'm going to be putting out many more videos exploring Neville's lectures, as well as my own personal messages and insights about spiritual development and transformation. I hope you join me on those future videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.